He introduced me to Penny Allen. I don't know who remembers
I
Penny.
remember Penny very well. A brilliant actress, also.
Brilliant
Teacher.
teacher and actress, and she became my best friend for 25 years.
Oh, God.
She passed on a couple of years ago. When I was considering getting into acting or back into it. I had done it as a teenager, and he told me thinking about it is a lot harder than doing it. He said, you make yourself crazy with fear. Thinking it, but just go do it. And he was so right. We had so many great exchanges. I'd like to say that I didn't meet you until recently. I mean, in the last 2 years. I mean, I would hear your mom on the telephone answering machine calling out his name.
Yeah.
So I knew your mom's voice for years, but I didn't know you. But when my mom was in her last month or so, and she was still in the hospital, and she had already had 2 strokes, and so she was kind of childlike, but very, I mean, but very in the moment. She was also very aware. But she, when Chad would come in to visit her, it was hard for him to see her like that. And the nurse was there, and she said, "Oh, Susan, do you know who's here?" And she was legally blind, but she could see shadows. She looked around, and Chad was standing. She reached out and grabbed his hand and said, "That's the love of my life." So I think I'll just end it on those.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Ron, I just gotta say, man, it's so beautiful to see you with your son.
Oh, thanks.
I won't get all emotional on you, but
Thanks.
go ahead.
You know, I've known Chad for a really long time, and so I studied with Garth at the actress at Lee Strasberg, and George. Great to see you again. And we studied with George, and I took a class with Chad. So I lived with Chad for a couple of years, and it was just he's awesome. You know, it became family. You know, the thing about coming home late, I did that a lot, and he'd be up, and then we'd sit in the dark. And I remember, man, scorching summers, and I'd walk in, and I'd see him there, and he'd have a gallon of water, actually a couple of gallons of water, and I could never believe how he did it with just a fan, you know. And I'd have to run into the room and sit in the air conditioning for a while, and then come back out and sit out there with him, and we talk for a while. And actually, just to piggyback off of some things people said, you know, he always said to keep it simple, you know, that it wasn't that hard, that you just had to, you know, to be in the moment thing, but to tell the story through your own words, through your own truth, and then just dropping the lines on top of that. That's all that was. Sprinkling. How did he call it? He said something interesting. Always, it stayed with me until now. Sprinkling of the good to but keeping it simple. You know, you have your life, your story, and you just drop those words that the playwright wrote into it, and it's there, and it becomes real in the reality and all that stuff. And yeah, it was just awesome. I remember, for those of you who know Last Tango, I remember coming into the apartment and walking to one of the rooms with a friend, and I walked back out, and she's still in there, and then Chad's all, you know, down by the kitchen, And he turns over his shoulder. I just gave him a smile, and he goes, "Butter."
Oh God.
And I thought it was just funny because we had just been talking about all this last tango and the. But he's dry like that, dry, beautiful, but rich, taste, humor. It was funny. And a lot of other things, but, he's definitely going to be missed.
Well said, brother. Max?
Absolutely. So, Garth, I've known you for the better part of 30 years. I met Chad and Estelle once, about 25 years ago, in passing. I saw you on the block once with your dad, and then another time with your mother, within a couple of years, probably in the early 90s. But the best testament to a great artist is the art they leave behind, whereas myself and maybe even some other people here, maybe they didn't know Chad and Estelle as well as you or the other people deeply ingrained in their lives. But like Da Vinci and Picasso, people don't talk about them as much as they talk about the Mona Lisa or Starry Night. And these legacies go from museum to museum around the world. So I look at you as the legacy, as the Mona Lisa or the Starry Night, because their life, the blood of their music and their art still runs through your veins, and you're able to disseminate that to the world. And I feel honored to know them through you and to continue to know them through you and your children, and to be part of this next beautiful leg in your journey, in our journey, in all of our journey, because it's just beginning. So I feel honored to have been part of this and your mom Shiva, and for whatever else comes next, who knows, but we're here for each other, and that's what friendship and family is all about.
Word up.
I didn't know Chad, but I met him a few times. But what really strikes me and stands out to me is the last few days when we would go to the hospital where you took care of him. I remember I was out in the hallway and you were saying to me, "Not alone, Dad, not alone, Dad." And that really, I just found that intense. And the care you put in, the attention you put into him. I hope, I hope I don't die. I hope that
I just gotta say, I feel blessed. I have this beautiful family here, and friends, family. I actually just say family. You guys are my family. That was amazing. One of the things Dad used to practice with me, he used to practice with me acting. And he took me into the park, and there was one scene that he always did about that bird. I don't know, I did it in your class once. The bird that never,
Oh,
The
yeah,
bro-
from,
oh, man, can you remember that?
Tennessee Williams.